your style. I think I read that you gave away play calling duties a couple of years ago to be a better head coach. How would you describe what your style will be, your method, and how much input on defense? What will you have on defense?
No, I'll be heavily involved offensively, and again, you want to hire your staff to do their job defensively. When you look to hire a staff defensively, what you want to do is how are they going to defend us? And that's going to be so instrumental in this process as we hire this staff. And I'll be involved defensively by just getting with those guys. I get in a whole lot of details of what gives us problems. How are you going to defend this? What are you going to do against us if we do this? But yeah, there'll be a direct communication there.
The 10th assistant is coming in.
Yeah.
Are you a guy who wants to have a special teams coach? How will you handle the 10th, maybe?
It a lot depends on our staff that we hire. If I've got a guy on there that is a special teams that maybe is another position coach, I may put that on the defensive side of the ball and give us 5 and 5 on each side. That's just kind of my thought process right now. Then again, I very well could hire just a full-time special teams coach.
Do you expect your new defensive coordinator, whoever that is, to hire most of his own staff or make recommendations?
Yeah, we'll work together. We'll work together in hiring those guys, and again, we got some ideas as well.
Coach, the chopper marketing technique.
Yes.
Do you expect to bring some of
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to figure a name for it now. The hog copter or something, but it'll be alive and well. We'll be all over this state in a helicopter.
Coach, recruiting something that's always been a challenge at Arkansas in terms of getting that elite level talent. What's going to be different now?
Well, I just think I don't know what if it's what's going to be different. It's what's more like that's the style of player that we're going to attract here from the type of scheme that we run is going to make this a very appealing place to come in and play, especially when you're able to come in and play early and play as a freshman. That's going to make it appealing as well, and that's part of the development of these young men as you go. Is these guys want to come here, they want to play, and that's kind of the model that we've taken, the blueprint we've taken from where we were 7 years ago.
Coach, you're taking a program that's not played your style. Does that present problems in the transition?
Well, I think there's going to be some transition there. I think that there's going to be some depth issues at some key positions. But until we get in there and find out, it's going to be hard to see right now. But, yeah, we know there's going to be a little bit of a roster flip that we're going to have as we transition. But again, you're going to still line up and run the power and the counter and the inside and outside zone. That's college football. We're just going to do it in different ways.
What about a running quarterback?
Well, again, part of what we do is recruiting around in the style that we have. We were one of 2 teams in college football this past year that had a 3,000-yard passer, 2 1,000-yard receivers, and a 1,000-yard rusher. And our quarterback was mobile enough. But as far as when you look at it with our zone read game, and there's different answers to that. So sometimes you may not have those mobile quarterbacks, so your zone read may not be more of a pull down and run. It may be a pull down and throw, more of a triple option effect. So again, we'll adjust and adapt. What we want is find the right fit here to the University of Arkansas.
What are the top priorities for you the next 2 or 3 days?
Recruiting, about 100% recruiting. Absolutely, I sure do. I do. I think we've got a chance to put together an elite class. We're not going to rush. We're not going to just jump out there and sign someone to be signing. We're going to find the right fit, and if that's not the case, then we're going to set back on it and see what happens after that. In January.
Arkansas transitioned from the 4-3 to the 3-4. What do you plan to do defensively?
We're going to be multiple. We'll be in an odd. We'll base out of an odd. We'll still get into some 4 down. I think the key is being multiple, to be able to stem in and out, disguising a lot of different coverages. And being very aggressive with how you present your pressure packages in both your odd and your even fronts.
Had you recruited some of the players on this roster?
You know what? We had a couple of them, obviously, there's a young man from Lake Travis, where I coached, and we had recruited him, and so we have, but we'll kind of get more into that a little bit later. But yeah, we've got some relationships with these guys.
Your son playing at Highland Park. Do you have a relationship with Stephen and Jerry, and would they tell you about Arkansas? And that's the way you know?
Well, I do, and it's been great. Obviously, that program there is very historic, and won a state championship last year, and so yes, I do have a great relationship, and very very excited about their ball game tomorrow night. So with Chandler.
About Arkansas?
Well, it's. You know a lot about it from just the prior history, but the ins and outs. There'll be a time that we'll sit down and talk, I'm sure.
Did you meet with Jared Cornelius at all? Has he indicated whether he's coming back?
Yeah, I met with all of them yesterday, and a lot of them, most of them, came up and shook my hand and hugged my neck and just introduced themselves to me individually. I'll meet one-on-one with them in the near future over the next few weeks before they break. From all indications, he's coming back. I know he had an injury this year, and we're going to put a top 10 pick in the NFL draft this year at wide receiver from SMU, and why not? Why wouldn't you not want to come back and play in something that's going to be fun and exciting to be a part of?
Rafe Peavy transferred from Arkansas down to SMU. I know yesterday was a little hectic for you. Were you able to talk to him at all about what kind of you're expecting here?
Well, he's a great young man, first of all. A great young man, and he and I have shared, because our relationship has shared a lot about the University of Arkansas through his time at SMU, and I know he's reached out to several of these guys and just kind of shared what kind of person and coach that I am, and so yes, I've talked with him a little bit.
Any chance, Coach, you think of him coming back to Arkansas, following you here?
Well, I can't comment on that right now. It's they got a bowl game to go win. And I'm so proud of those guys as well.
Coach, your entire career seems to be about meeting challenges or wanting to find the new challenge. Now it's the greatest coaches in all of college football, some of the most storied programs. I mean, this has got to be exciting.
Well, it is. I couldn't hardly sleep last night, and just excited. As emotional a day as it was equally exciting. And so to be able to come in here and to reconnect this state, to bring this state together, and to really – this state is so hungry for winning. They're so hungry and so passionate for Razorback football and this university. And that's what I want to hear their passion. I want to go at all corners of this state and to be able to connect and sit down and talk and have our staff get out there and chalk talk all over this state with our former players and with our alumni, and to be able to come out and meet us and just listen to their passion. And to know that they have ownership in this, and with that ownership, we're gonna lock arms together as we turn this into something very, very special.
How well did you know Terry Don?
Yeah, I know Terry Don very well, and he is a great man, and very appreciative of his kind words. I did not know that. That was the first I've heard it.
So, you haven't talked to him about
I have
Arkansas?
Not. I have not.
Did you ever talk about Arkansas?
Oh, he talked about Arkansas all the time. Yes, he did. When we were at Clemson and getting together with him, and he would talk about Razorback football.
Would that be when you kind of got the similarities?
It was a whole lot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, my days are running together. What is today? Thursday? It's been over a week ago, maybe. Somewhere there. I don't know the exact date, but it's somewhere in that area.
You think
clock management and game management, how does that rate in your priority?
It is a huge priority for us. And as a matter of fact, as far as how we handle our Thursday practices and the way we do things in our clock management and our meetings that we have with our coaches, and then meetings that go into the players with the different mismanaged games throughout college football the week before. I feel like that's one of the better attributes that we bring as well. You know what? I have. I was on the phone with several of them last night, and it was really good, really positive. I believe we have some coming in here this weekend. I don't know that for a fact. I think there's 3 or 4 or 5. I'll find that out here in just a minute. But I've reached out to several of them, and they're excited. Several of them are guys that we've recruited too, and And so I had a relationship with it already.
The previous staff was thinking that they couldn't sign 25, that the numbers are well under that as far as what you could sign. I mean, how many do you think you can sign?
I don't know that. Again, we're going to go into that in just a few minutes. I don't know if you're, where you're at, whether you're 18 or 20 or 12. I don't know. I know it's not going to be a full 25, though. I do know that, unless something happens.
Got time for a couple more, guys.
Coach, Lake Travis High School, what does that place mean to you?
Well, it is near and dear to my heart. I actually turned Todd Graham down 3 times when he came from University of Tulsa to try to hire me as the offensive coordinator. I turned him down 3 times, and it was the 3rd time that he came and talked to Paula and to get us to come up there, because I felt like it was the best high school job in the country. And we knew we were building something extremely special, and it was just only the peak of, or only the start of what was about to happen. And so a very special place to me. Coach Carter is a young man that I coached in high school, and took over for me and has been there and done a great job ever since. As all the high schools that I've had stops at. There's so many people along the way that has made a difference in my life to get me to where I am today.
Coach, your relationship with Gus Malzahn, can you kind of explain that and kind of how close you guys are?
Yeah, I would consider Gus one of my very, very close friends. He and I talk, talk regularly, share ideas regularly, and have. Very innovative. We think a lot alike in some of those regards. He's a risk taker and has been, and both he and Christy are great people, and his family. So yeah, we're Paula and Christy are close. It's we've coached against each other once when he was a coordinator and I was a coordinator, and so it's he's reached out to me, and he and I have talked about everything here, and I know that his support is powerful. But again, a great man and a great family.
Your first 3 league games are against coaches that have won in the national championship or been in the national championship game. How much of a factor was the SEC?
Well, I think it's huge. I think you're in the best conference and best division in college football. You got an opportunity to recruit to that, so let's use it to our advantage. Some people look at it as, wow, it's the hardest ever. Well, why not look at it the other way and say, this is a great opportunity to recruit to come play in some of the best in all of the country. And when you can do that, you can do a lot of great things.
You're going to get to coach against your alma mater, and what did you think when they went into the SEC? Changed the landscape of Texas?
Well, I thought it was a game changer. I was a high school coach at that time, and I said it right there. I said, what's happened when that happens, you open the borders of the state of Texas for the SEC to come in, and I think you've seen that. But yeah, it was obviously the changing and the dynamics of all the conference shuffling was big. And but yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think it's huge.
Have you played against them?
I have not. No.